Hey, welcome to This Commerce Life, an unscripted podcast that focuses on the stories behind small and independent Canadian retail and Canadian CPG.
What we try and do is deliver or pull out the story of our guests and give them to you. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly of retail and CPG in Canada. We're filling a need because we think that retail is hard on the best of days, but it's also a wonderful, wonderful place to grow up and make your living.
We also think that the industry, nor the people that inadvertently find themselves in the industry, really understand the industry at all. They don't really understand what goes on behind the scenes.
So listen to us, Phil and Kenny. We'll unravel it for you. We'll give you the story. We'll give you the story behind the story.
Phil,
Kenny?
do you remember the old days when you guys would come in, like we just launched something with you, get it going, and then you come in and want to know how it's doing, where it was, and you have all this list of questions, and I give you the look of like, piss off because I don't have time to run around trying to figure all this stuff out. How many stores is it in? Well, it's supposed to be in this many, Phil. Kenny, I can't see it all in these stores. Phil, get your people, go and find out which stores it's in. Remember all those conversations where to get data on something just listed or just running, everything just took forever to get an answer. Everything.
And it was frustrating. All of it was frustrating because I'd be frustrated at you because you couldn't get me the answers I want. You'd be frustrated because you didn't understand why I just didn't throw more resources at this. But either way, neither of us ever got the answers that we ever wanted.
Exactly. Tons of paperwork, took forever. And by the time we got the data, who cared anyway? Well, you know what, Mr. Chang? Those days are over. Field Agent just launched Marketplace. You want to know what it is, Phil? Because I know you're dying to ask. It's a self-serve platform where brands of any size can launch tasks on demand.
Okay. So I can test packaging, pricing. I check promotions to see if they're set up correctly.
All of it. Mm-hmm. And super quick. You can do it within minutes. And you can target by location, demographics. You can get photos, feedback. And the data is in one easy peasy, easy to read dashboard. Super, super easy. Best part, no minimums, no setup fees. You pay for the data you collect. And that's it.
Perfect for small brands that we talk to all the time, sales marketers, anyone who needs quick, real-world insights. I like
True data now, not in a week, not a month. If you're so inclined on a Friday afternoon like we are now, and you wanted to probably start it tomorrow or Sunday, guess what? You can do it. None of this 15-year delay, and before you know it, the world's turned over 3 times. Incredible.
If you're interested, check it out at www.fieldagentcanada.com/marketplace.
How about now?
Yep.
That works.
I can hear you now.
I can't
hear me.
No? Can't hear me?
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
I can hear you now.
I hear you.
Okay, so we can all hear each other.
Group hearing.
Oh my God. This technology thing's supposed to be so easy. That's bullshit.
It never is.
Liars, all of them.
Man, how are you?
Not me. He's been with me all day. I know how he is.
Yeah, I'm not asking him.
I'm having a good week.
Good.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah.
We like that.
Good weeks are nice to have.
They are.
One or two together, it's even better.
Mm-hmm. 2 in a row is good. That would be acceptable.
Wow.
I feel like we just saw you.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be right back. I don't know why. I'm going to just see if I've got another camera. My camera seems to.
Been doing that all day. It's been
I
off,
know.
on.
I know.
So
I'll be right back.
What's with the good week? What's going on? Like what?
Chatting with you guys it's always great, but that was like a catalyst.
It's set the bar higher than
conversations in the teams. So, yeah. I mean, I was sharing with Jimmy about what you guys were sharing about, like our kind of ideas of non-competes, should we or shouldn't we?
Yeah.
And thinking about the different store types and the audience types of those stores. I feel like you guys just bring a lot of clarity. Like you help sift through the muddle and ideas and distill.
Well, I'm like, if that, I mean, if that's true, that's awesome. I mean, it's never like hearing things about yourself. If we're help, I think all we want to do is help. I just would like to get everybody we talk to. I would just like to get to successful, whatever that means for them. And sometimes it might be not this project. Maybe it's a different project. Because some things are just not viable for whatever reasons, right? And other things are. I mean, I think you got a cool thing. But I think, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe what is we laugh all the time. I've made enough mistakes. Trust me. I mean, you don't need to make the same ones I've made. I've already done it. I've already made enough of them, and I repeated a few of them just for shits and giggles. Why are you going to do that? I
Yeah.
mean, that's just not sensical. Like, and you may as well just learn and just don't do it. I
Yeah.
just trust this is not going to work.
Yeah.
If you really still want to do it, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? But
Well, even the whole concept of the sales stuff, like we went into this month of doing this retailer sale for the first time, kind of as a, we'll see what happens because we have no idea what is normal.
right.
And then you guys helping us understand the difference between it makes sense to do a big sale when you are a big manufacturer who wants to take advantage of reducing setup and shut down costs of a batch. But when you're a smaller group, you want to stabilize production. So spreading sales out across retailers, like that felt like you compacted a year's worth of learning into an hour. And now we can save a year of like figuring that shit out by ourselves and just implement it.
I mean, yeah, and then again, then you tweak and you bob and you weave where you have to. But I mean, that's what you kind of always hope you do is like if you're trying to help people, like you're always hoping that the advice you're giving is clear. Because a lot of times, like, and I'm worse than him because he teaches like in a college, so he gets it. Like I'll just go and I make assumptions. Well, I mean, I understood me. Like, what do you mean understand that? What the hell? I got it. I understood exactly what I said.
Yeah.
And then I say it again. Well, you said something different. Well, just follow the story. It's so it's a little erratic, whatever.
Journey.
So I'm always glad if there's any sense that comes out of us and you can see it, that's awesome. I'm super happy. That's good.
Oh my. Listen, for listeners, we have Joy Dutcher on, and she runs Mycelyum. We'll find out more in a sec, but we've had a lot of fun. We've now got to talk to Joy a couple of times. Yeah, and you heard once this week as well. But we are having some fun with Joy, and hopefully we're helping. Yeah. Okay, so. We'll ask you to introduce yourself. You can tell us about Mycelyum. We'd also love to hear kind of what your origin story is or how you got to this spot. And then we'll definitely get into Mycelyum as well. But I'll shut up so you can do an intro and kind of introduce yourself to the audience and tell us about you. Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Yeah. So my name is Joy Dutcher. My partner, Jimmy, Zuzanjak, and I started Mycelyum about 6 years ago. Jimmy really was the catalyst for me and my journey with mushrooms. When we started dating about 10 years ago, I was sharing with him that I just gotten diagnosed with ADHD, was not loving the meds I was on, but wanting to understand how to support my brain health. And with his steeped background in traditional Chinese medicine, holistic health. He's a manual osteopath. Like he has a lot of deep wisdom and experience with, I'd say, Eastern and kind of like non-traditional medicinal options. So he introduced me to lion's mane and chaga. When I first heard that he was trying to introduce me to mushrooms, I thought he was crazy because I've grown up hating mushrooms and really have picked them off all my food. So it was a bit of a vessel for me to even want to try them, but I was like, whatever. Like anything's going to be better than what the meds I'm on right now. And so the first day that I tried those two mushrooms, I really noticed a difference that was tangible. I felt a lot more focus. I felt energized, but not jittery. And so I was really excited about these mushrooms are doing something and I don't understand what they're doing, but let's go with it. Over the next, I'd say 4 years, we were trying a lot of the mushroom products on the market to see what could really help with my brain health, help with my focus, to kind of augment the traditional medicine that I was on, or I should say Western medicine I was on. And eventually realized that we needed something that was different. The powders and capsules that are out there are great, but they just weren't things that fit into our lifestyle very well. So we went on this exploration journey of what kind of product could we add to our day that we'd look forward to, that we would find really effective, and that potentially we could share with our friends and family. And that's where we landed on gummies, mainly because I think they just have been blowing up in a lot of ways. People are seeing a lot of like an uptake in vitamin use and kind of herbal product use because gummies are such an approachable format. So we developed our gummies 6 years ago and launched Mycelyum. Mycelium, we put the yum in Mycelium is kind of our slogan, or at least that's where it started.
Okay.
But yeah, we launched just being passionate about sharing mushrooms with people. Mushrooms are quirky little characters. I mean, they're part of dietary options that North Americans don't necessarily explore a lot. And while they're a large part of, say, traditional Eastern diets and Northern European, they just don't show up necessarily in North American food unless it's like Italian pasta or certain dishes, you know? So we knew that we were going to be facing a little bit of an uphill climb in helping people understand that there's a difference between culinary mushrooms and psychedelics, and that there's this middle ground of beautiful medicinal and functional mushrooms that have a lot of health benefits. Some can be added to food, some not so much. But there's this whole world for people to explore of functional mushrooms that they can be adding to their day to get health improvements. And they're just really accessible. So we were really excited about bringing functional mushrooms to a new audience of people who maybe hadn't heard of them before.
Yeah, the mushroom journey is an interesting one, right? Like it's funny, right? Because even Asian culture, like I'm a Chinese-born Canadian, right? So here, my parents grew up in Hong Kong, so we do know mushrooms, but we don't know mushrooms, right? And then we know the old guy in the mall who sells a lot of dried herbs, who, you kind of say, I need the mushrooms that my grandma made, and he gives you a little packet and you go stew it in some tea or in soup. But we don't actually know mushrooms, right? Like, it's kind of an old world thing that it sounds like your better half is kind of spent some time studying it to learn what's what, right? But for the most part, I feel like most of us don't really understand any of it.
He didn't start the mushroom thing just 10 years ago. You guys started dating 10 years ago, started doing, but like he's clearly, is this something that goes back in his lineage? Like this, he remember recipes that grandma or somebody was making, or like, what's this?
Jimmy's Croatian, so he actually had his introduction into Eastern medicine through his martial arts when he was a teenager, and his sensei that were introducing him to like a holistic way of looking at your body and understanding health.
Okay.
Got it. Wow.
So something was more of a, like he was doing something and was passionate. The person, the sensei is pretty passionate. You're kind of everybody's into this thing, thinking, okay, this is kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of like, as Italians. Sorry, like we use a lot of mushrooms. Croatia use a lot of mushrooms, but it's all food mushrooms. I mean, I'm sure like a lot of the Asian things, it's you ate certain mushrooms at certain times for certain reasons, but nobody talks about that side of it. So okay, interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, he started his world of like health modalities as in shiatsu massage. So progressed from there into manual osteopathy, but just has always integrated diet, like looking at your entire body with your treatments as a way of improving your overall health. I mean, for me, it was pretty revolutionary because I'm just a normal person who grew up. You take your vitamins, sometimes you get meds from the doctor and try to go to the gym. That was kind of the extent of my health knowledge. And so it's been interesting learning from Jimmy a lot about like the different things that you can think about how to support your brain health, organ health through the things that you're eating and the supplements that you're taking. But yeah, it's made it a lot more accessible to me that it's not just about what your doctor says. Like we can have a lot of advocacy and agency over our health in what we eat. Like food is medicine. So there's a lot that we can do proactively to keep our health in check.
I think even most doctors would probably tell you that too. They don't necessarily want to see us for the things we go in for. A lot of stuff is we go in because we've caused a lot of our own issues, not, medicine definitively. I think it's pretty cause and effect. I think if you looked at a graph, since pharmaceuticals have been around as strong as they are, we probably live in longer, but it doesn't mean it's the end all be all.
No.
Right. I mean, ideally, I don't want to live longer because it's keeping us around longer because of the shit that we put ourselves into, that if we had taken better care of us, we may not have had to end up on the pharmaceuticals. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of that play that, it seems to be the end result for a lot of us in the West, but it doesn't have to be. I think that's what the message always sort of needs to wrap around. So with Jimmy and that saying, listen, if you take a more holistic approach, you still may need, but you might be able to push it longer down the line or
Avoid it altogether. Yeah.
Potentially.
I feel like
Interesting.
I feel like the other thing is just, when you look at, like, for some things, I have a headache, I can take Tylenol, and maybe that'll make it go away. But you look at some of the more chronic things, the pharmaceuticals we have aren't very good. Like migraines is, like ADHD is one of them, right? You take certain meds and they make you feel dopey. They kind of change your personality. They start to alter things that you wouldn't necessarily want to be altered. So now you're choosing between, do I try and cope with this, or do I take the med and kind of change who I am?
Yeah.
Migraines is another one, right? Where you kind of go, I can take it, but it makes me feel weird, or I do things, or it just makes me go to bed. Like, so now I'm sleeping all day, so anytime I think you can get to something that maybe helps you address some of those remedies without, some of all those adverse effects, would be good, right? So,
Totally. Well, and I think understanding that, I mean, for my brain, I need to have a diet that's got more fat, more protein, omega-3s, vitamin D. Like there's a lot of things that I need to support my brain health very specifically.
mhm.
Our brain is mostly made of cholesterol, so I need to not avoid cholesterol. And my mom had Alzheimer's, and she went on a low-fat diet about 20 years ago, and that's where we started to see a slow but real shift in her memory health.
Okay.
And so that's been a real wake-up call for me to think about my health now. Like I've got the 20 plus years, so how do I feed my brain so that
Right.
it has the healthiest memory possible?
Right.
A lot of that's going to be diet and what I make sure I have up every day. And for me, lion's mane is key to that. Like lion's mane helps rebuild your myelin sheath, which is the coating around our nerves. And when people have that coating disintegrate through age and stress, it's one of the main causes of dementia. So if I can make sure that my myelin sheath is always being repaired properly, then I'm helping myself again push off any of that kind of dementia type experience by just protecting my nerve health.
Interesting. So, okay, can we go back for a second? So ADHD, you meet your boyfriend who starts making you crazy because he says you got to take mushrooms.
Not liking mushrooms.
Fall in love with mushrooms, though.
And you're not sure, like, I take them out of my food, or you're going to throw them in a tea, or you're going to make me hallucinate things, right? So what the heck, right? So what does he do that kind of like swings your, that starts to swing the way you perceive mushrooms or the way you think about mushrooms?
I think a lot of it was sharing the history of them. I mean, there's documented use of medicinal mushrooms in Asia for 2,500 years. So Eastern medicine precedes Western medicine by 2 millennia. Like that's significant. And as much as Western medicine has a very strong focus on isolating variables to understand what's going wrong in our bodies, Asian medicine has a very holistic perspective to understand that when we do take medicine that affects one thing, let's make sure we understand what else it affects. So I think the Eastern concept is much more comprehensive in looking at the whole body. So, I mean, while I was taking these Western meds for my ADHD, it was totally disrupting my sleep cycle. A lot of my cognitive skills that I was always proud of, I'm very analytical, I'm very creative, all of those kind of skills disappeared. I felt like I was really dumbed down and not myself. I wasn't as optimistic, I wasn't as creative. So I was giving up a big part of my personality to fit into a social model that required, or a social model of expectations about being calm and moving at the pace that other people like. Whereas mushrooms helped me have focus and have some calm, but without sacrificing my personality and the things that I think are really great about my brain. So I think for me, it was that big difference of feeling the positive impacts, while not necessarily as like dramatically strong as the Western meds. I still felt that focus and calm, but I didn't have to give up all the things I like about myself along the way.
I like that. And then were you ingesting it by tea, or Like, how were you kind of
If you
getting
didn't have this formula, that's
Mostly powder.
powder.
powder?
And where do you buy this stuff?
Powder. Yeah, just like the extract powder.
So
Yeah,
like
just the
doing your
brands out
own,
there
like you
like
just drying your own and grinding, or are you going to a store?
no, I mean we were just buying things that were available. Like Four Sigmatic coffee was one of the first ones I was trying. I've never been a big coffee drinker, but I was like, I'll try it in this case. And then we started finding extract powders that we could just put into stuff. I've never been a big smoothie drinker, so it felt like I was always trying to find food to put the powder in. And that's where we realized, why don't we just make something that we like eating? And for me, that happens to be candy because I love eating candy of all sorts. So gummies, we knew that that would be a really easy format to put an extract in. I think for me, also just understanding my brain wiring, that for me to develop new habits, I need to have immediate rewards and long-term rewards. But if there's no immediate reward, I'm not really going to do something that's not fun. So gummies are fun. So I will enjoy the gummy. I look forward to it. But then I also know I'm doing something good for myself that's going to help me have a better day.
Right.
Okay.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to me too. So you start doing this. So how long from like powder to gummies? Like, what's that evolution look like, right? Because you're doing it for yourself in the beginning, and then you start kind of looking at this and thinking, not just me, more people than me, right? Like, so
Yeah.
did you try and sell stuff in powder format, or you kind of went, this is not going to work? It's gotta, okay.
I'm with Phil too. So, but even on to that,
Yeah.
so you didn't just go and say, okay, I know. Like it sounds like I'm assuming you compounded some. Like you had to put some things. Like how did you get to the science of like it's not just this mushroom, it's this mushroom with maybe a little bit of this one. I don't know if that's how it works, but like is it a concoction, but that you're playing with at home, or that you finally said, listen, clearly these work. I think I should talk to someone
Yeah.
gets science or whatever, and we should just put something that maybe it's not always just this one. It needs to be four of them to do this, and these four do that, and these five with those four do I don't know something else. Is that how it plays? Like how do you get?
So we started looking at like, okay, how much do you need of each mushroom to get the benefits from that mushroom? And realized that for us, like we feel like a lot of the blends that you get out there, you don't actually get enough of each mushroom to get the benefits of that mushroom. So from zero to thinking, hey, let's make our own product was about 4 years. And then it was like September to December where we just spent one autumn making like trying to learn how to make gummies, like literally researching online. Like the whole time we'd been dating those 4 years, Jimmy lived in Whistler. I live on the Sunshine Coast. So we were commuting back and forth to visit each other every weekend. And we'd kind of spend our weeks apart, like doing our own thing, doing research. And then on the weekends, we'd get together and we'd be hanging out in the living room, making gummies, basically trying to figure out how to make gummies from scratch. And still buying our normal extract powders. But when we realized, like, if we want to get enough mushroom of each into one gummy, it's going to be like eating a powder brick. So this isn't really working. So we decided kind of early on, we want to be doing gummies of one of each mushroom so that people can really choose what are the health benefits that are most important to them and get the gummy for that. And if they want to blend them, like take them together, there's definitely a lot of like synergy between mushrooms. Reishi is really good for calming your nervous system. Lion's mane is really good for healing your nervous system. So together, they work really well for supporting nervous system health. Turkey tail is great for gut health. Lion's mane, again, the brain health. And the gut-brain connection is significant. So if you take lion's mane and turkey tail together, again, you get improved benefits. But we really focused quite early on of let's just do one mushroom per gummy so that people can get that huge dose, or take a bunch together and get that like multiple synergy effects. But it was about, I guess, 3.5 months of just like being mad scientists in the kitchen, coming up with lots of things that didn't work, trying every ingredient we could find online, like deconstructing other people's gummies to see how they were made, ordering their ingredients. Like neither of us have a background in food science. So it was a lot of research, experimentations, eating awful things, and then just like trying again. Like, what did we learn from that batch that we're not doing again? Let's do something different, like find better ingredients, find better flavors. But yeah, it was a lot of experiments, just like every night.
It's kind of a new way to think about what couples do together.
Totally.
You're not close, right? Sunshine Coast, and like and so like to travel, and then, all right, you ready? Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's go make some gummies, right?
Get your aprons on. Let's go to the lab.
I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I mean, we were pretty excited to launch the first products. We started off, there's like Community Futures is an organization in, I think in BC. I don't know if it's in other provinces, but it helps small business people who have ideas to launch and then grow their businesses. And we kind of started, that was a bit of a, like an engine behind our experimentations of we joined the Community Futures LEAP program in Sechelt. And so every week I was going to these classes to just talk about developing our business idea. And then December, we had the chance to present our final product to people and see what they thought. And that really helped, I think, keep us moving with the experiments, because we had this deadline of, we've got to have something in bag to give away at this event. So
let's get at this, right?
Having a viable. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun getting people's feedback. I mean, I come from the marketing and business development world, so I've always been on the other side of the table, but to have an idea that I'm then testing with other people, and like every Tuesday, I'd go to this class. After the class, I'd be sharing with Jimmy, hey, this is our homework. This is what they want us to talk about. What if we're going to develop on the weekend? We're talking about these ideas, doing more gummy batches. And then back the next Tuesday, I'm sharing kind of our learning. So yeah, it was like an interesting cycle of just idea development as a couple. Like, I think you learn a lot about your partner in a new way when you're working with them, because it's so easy to have your own careers and your own separate like professional lives. But when then you blend them, like you get to see a whole new side of this person that you care about and love. And it's a really neat way to learn how to work together. I think we learned a lot about each other just in those early days and have continued. But we have a pretty neat mix of, we are very similar and very different. Like, I feel like we have a real yin yang balance of Jimmy is good and amazing at things that I cannot do. And I love computers and spreadsheets. He does not. So it's this perfect little blend of, we both get to focus on our like lucrative skills and tap into each other's creativity, but in a way that empowers both of us.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And then, okay, so
yeah,
you talked about that a little bit. What did you do before you got obsessed with mushrooms and gummies? Like, what did you do? Like, what did you do for a living, or
like you said, like what?
So I started off as like a web designer, graphic designer for a lot of my career, and then in the previous 10 years had gotten into professional services business development. So working in a law firm, helping lawyers get work, working in a architectural engineering firm, basically doing proposals for like massive infrastructure projects, that kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Always selling other people's ideas and other people's services. And so this was the first time that it was really about selling something that Jimmy and I are passionate about. So it's been an interesting journey to kind of flip that role and still be objective and learn how to think about our audience and what graphic design appeals to them, as opposed to what I would just design for my own personal aesthetics. But a really interesting journey of trying to distill in my brain what are my professional skills that I can apply to a brand that we're also, it's a little bit of an extension of us, but it also is something that it is its own entity beyond who Jimmy and I are as people.
Probably one thing you have to learn too, like you can't make anything massively overly personal, right? Even this was a journey that you did for you, and you guys had your reasons. But to your point, I mean, you start making packaging and the feel that way, then it's going to talk to the two people that were making it in the house lab. You didn't have to go put it in a, you're only talking to the two of you, right? It's got to sell to the masses, right?
Yeah. The audience is the person, the audience matters. What sells to them matters. Yeah. So whether it's what we would wear as clothing, it doesn't matter. what is going to appeal to people who are learning about mushrooms. That's all that matters.
Mhm.
Well, that's who you're talking to. So yeah, clearly that's literally all that matters, right? And those who aren't taken, you're not talking to them anyway. So whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's just yeah, it's just it's I mean, it's like everything. We do this a lot when we talk to entrepreneurs. It's always cool. Yeah, concepts. Everybody's got concepts. Everybody ideas, but it's getting the ideas and concepts to fruition. I mean, it's always very interesting. Like, how do you get? It's a quantum leap. You don't just, that's a big jump.
Yeah. And I think we had no idea how big the jump was, even in terms of the regulatory environment in Canada. And we wanted to develop a vegan product. That took like 3 years to develop, just because the vegan production is incredibly different. The ingredients are different. How you manufacture the gummies is very time restrictive. And then working with Health Canada, getting our site license, getting our NPNs, like that was a whole machine that we had no idea how to get into. So we got some consulting help there that has been transformative for sure. But yeah, when you have this little idea that you're sitting on the couch thinking, oh, wouldn't it be fun to make mushroom gummies? Like, we had no idea where we'd be 6 years later.
And you're right, because the idea of saying that, yeah, it does sound fun and it does sound really cool. And then you start and you're thinking, the hell am I doing? Like, this retail thing is, okay, what, seriously, this is a lot of shit going on. And then you got Health Canada, and you're thinking, okay, what the hell, what do you guys want? Like, I mean, really, like,
Yeah.
it's got to be daunting, especially
Yeah.
if you're not like immersed in this mess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a journey that I never really understood. And like, I don't think you can. I mean, I think it's funny that I chose a lot of marketing and business development roles because I like selling other people. I don't always want to put myself out there.
Yeah.
And so my biggest fear in starting this business was, who's going to do sales? Like, that sounds awful. I don't want to do sales. Like, I don't want to be the person like schlepping things at people. And now I love it. Like, it's my favorite part of the job. Like, I get so excited about getting to do demos, getting to do markets, like getting to talk to retailers. Because I think I've gone through the journey of realizing I'm not just selling something. Like, I get to talk about something I'm passionate about. I get to connect with people and find out what their health journey is. And then you just end up developing a friendship of sorts based on mushrooms that are so exciting and so fun. And so it's super easy to get amped and excited about working with people because you're now speaking from a place of passion, not just a place of I need to like meet some sort of quota. So it's been funny to me that the thing that I hated the most is now my favorite part of my job.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it helps that you're selling something that you develop, you believe in, works for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it really does. Like, it makes a
I
difference.
think that works for you is probably
Yeah.
because we can all make things, and the true great salespeople, not great people necessarily, great salespeople, they can sell anything whether it works or not. I'm not a big fan of those people necessarily, but when you've got something that works for you, and you've spent the time and you've really gone through it and it has shown results personally, et cetera, and then you start showing friends and it works for them, and you go to farmers market, it works for them. Like, it's pretty hard not to get pretty stoked on it, right? Like, now you're thinking, well, shit, I mean, I'll work for everybody, and that's fine. Not every pharmaceutical works for everybody. Not everything works for everybody, period. So, but when you find these people that come back and say, "Oh my God, Joy, you know what? I haven't felt this good in years." Like, that's got to be,
Yeah.
hey man,
It's
come on,
worth
That's the
something.
payoff.
that's pretty slick, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
did good today. That's that's a
Totally.
good day, right?
Yeah. It makes all the struggle and the confusion worth it, definitely, when you get to hear those stories.
Right? And again, especially because you're finding out, like, it's not an easy industry. It's not for the faint of heart. I mean, you probably, okay, not for anything, you did it already, good for you, but you probably didn't have to spend 4 years in the kitchen. You could have got to a food scientist maybe just a little quicker. You could have saved a little time.
Don't tell her that now. She's already spent all the years.
That's time to tell her now. What are you gonna do? It's too late before. I can't. Now you just got to give her little gears in case she comes up with another idea. Say, listen, you might want to, you can jump into the fast lane a little quicker, right?
Well, and it's the journey too of learning what you know and what you don't know. And I mean, we jumped into the world of trying to work with contract manufacturers a couple times, had some not great experiences.
Mhm.
One company took our research money and decided they were starting a mushroom gummy company. Like,
That's a great idea. Why
literally
didn't you guys think of that?
they left the company they were working for and started a new company. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
you
that
had no NDAs clearly or anything like
no,
that.
we
You
had
did?
an NDA. Yeah. But
Even that, I
I
guess.
mean, our lawyer told us like got an NDA with an American company. So that means getting
Oh, it's a
American
US
lawyers.
company.
It's
Oh,
going to come down
Jesus.
to who's
Yeah.
got the most money to spend on creating this. Is it worth it? Um, and that's where we decided to self-manufacture, because even the time we worked with another manufacturer that they didn't understand the concept of low FODMAP ingredients. So we had a really strict set of parameters around what kind of sweeteners we could use. And we just kept on getting ingredients in our gummies that we were receiving that had these like no-go ingredients. So we finally realized like Jimmy is a very detailed oriented person. So he leads our production and he's so dialed the process that we have an amazing consistent product. I like doing a lot of the mad scientist stuff. So we work really well together in creating new products and the production process to manufacture them.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not common for a lot of companies. Most people are always contract manufacturing. And so sometimes if you contract manufacture and you do a batch of 10,000 bags, you get what you get. And if it's not what you wanted, you got to wait till the next batch to change it,
Yeah.
and that can be $40,000 invested. And now you're just trying to sell off that product. So I think we have the opportunity in the fact that we are a small manufacturer that we can always pivot. We never have anything on our shelf for more than a couple of weeks because Jimmy can dial his production to whatever orders are coming through.
Right.
We can create new products really easily. We've definitely put in that front end work of learning the food science, where I think there's so many people that it would have been great to learn from. We just, I think, got burned early enough that we didn't know how to continue in that world.
Get it.
Developing those relationships so that we could kind of get a solid output. But slow and steady with all contractors, right? Like, I think you sometimes just have to work with people for a while and see what they're like and find those relationships that work really well. And sometimes they don't and they fall away, and that's okay. But the learning that we've developed along the process of how we evaluate future partners is the takeaway from those odd experiences at the beginning.
Fair enough, right?
Wow. This is cool. This is really cool.
It's yeah.
And then so you're selling and you've got a whole chunk of retailers that you're already working with. How's uptake on mushrooms? Like, do you find yourself still doing kind of the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of mushrooms, or are you starting to get into a different, like are consumers and retailers starting to pick up on this conversation and kind of learn, or are you still kind of find yourself like, guys?
It's not white space.
Yeah, guys, we talked about this already. We're trying to get to the next step.
Yeah, it's 2025, guys. We're well into this.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely tiers like of audiences that have a lot of exposure and those that are still totally new. Like when we first started doing farmers markets, everyone assumed we were selling psychedelics and they were quite insulted at times, like, how dare you? And so it was education about these are not psychedelics, they're legal, you're fine. And now at markets, how dare you? They're so disappointed that they're not psychedelics. So like the social narrative around that has shifted, which is great. But I think that's like integrated into that is a lot of awareness around lion's mane, particularly because it's been online a ton. Fantastic Fungi is a movie that came out a bunch of years ago. And once it hit Netflix, like we saw our sales spike and the knowledge spike in the people that we were talking to. So I still feel like there's a hardcore group of like health people who will always go straight to the extracts, the powders. They want to keep their supplements as pure as possible. And then there's the kind of people who are mostly healthy, but also looking for convenience. And they're our target market where they're starting to integrate herbal and fungi products into their diet. They're looking at how they can improve their diet, but they don't always want to go straight to the source of just pure mushrooms, pure powders, pure tinctures, that kind of thing. And then there's still most of society, I'd say, on the outer ring that is just looking for food that tastes good. So I think we're always trying to pull those people into that second ring of here's something that tastes really good, but is also really good for you. And it's an easy way to start creating a healthier side to your diet by just having these supplements, but you're not going to have to choke something down. It doesn't taste too medicinal. And
which is important too, right? Sorry. I mean,
yeah. I think experience of supplements makes a big difference on habit building. Like if your supplement tastes awful, what are the odds you're going to take it every day? Whereas if it actually tastes good,
not high. Not high.
yeah.
So let me ask you something now, because you said you're doing a lot of creative stuff, trying to find new products, and I'm going to make a bold assumption. I'm assuming you and Jimmy don't have a stack of issues that you're trying to figure out. So where's the motivation or the ideas coming from for some of these new products? Are you doing shows and some people are asking you certain things? Now, I could have made the wrong assumption. Maybe you and Jimmy have a list of about 14 miles long, and you guys have a lot of problems, and you're making stuff for you all day. But I got to think there's got to be people now saying to you, hey, listen, I've tried this. My husband, my wife, my friend, my partner has this. Like, is that how it's playing now? Is that where this comes from? Or is you're just hitting the top ailments and going with that? Like, how do you do this?
I mean, a lot of it has come from idea generation that we did a couple years ago about how do we make an easier entry for people, even into our supplement gummies. And one of those things is the idea of just a treat. So a lot of our new products that we're looking at developing are snack packs. So the idea of you could be buying your like bag of gummy bears or chocolate bar at the store, or you could buy something that's got an additional health benefit to it. Same price kind of idea, or maybe a little bit more for the supplemented version. But it's just replacing a habit in your life, which is having a treat every day with something that's got some benefits to it, as opposed to a supplement. And a lot of the ideas behind the different types of snack packs we're looking at are based on, I'd say, Jimmy's knowledge of the health world and his experience in Whistler of working with a lot of athletes, working with a lot of very health conscious people. He's had some dietary adventures that have informed our products and are the reason they are low FODMAP. So our gummies have no ingredients, sweeteners, colors, flavors that are digestively disruptive. And so even gut health is a big topic for us daily. Like, how do we make our gummies safe for your gut, but how do we repair digestive health with a product? Or how do we help athletes perform better at their activity or recover better? How do we think about office workers, like my world where I used to work really long hours? How could I have had a bag of gummies that sat at my desk that could have just helped me have more focus in my day and reduced my stress? So we kind of see those products as like entry level mushroom products to help guide people towards supplements, but an easier purchase pattern for people. Like maybe it's easier to spend $4 on a little bag of gummies than the $30 on a bag of supplements. But then once they try the gummies and realize, hey, these taste good, they're doing something for me. Now I'm interested in trying what else these guys have. We just see it as helping create some stepping stones of products towards the supplement world.
You have to do it that way. That's why it's always been a tough category, is that like with everything, like probably most of the Western world is it needs to be immediate and it needs to be easy to do every day. Otherwise we won't do it.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? Which is why all-in-ones, three-in-ones, like things like funny, like I think it's trying to, how do we get people into the habits of doing things? And I think to your point, like, if a gummy is tasty, and I mean, quite frankly, I don't know many people who don't like gummies. I mean, not the worst format. So I mean, it's like a treat. If it doesn't feel bad, and if it tastes good, I mean, I'm assuming you get to a point where you don't remember how you're taking it for. You just know they're really good for you. You're taking a couple a day, and you're happy. Like, 18.
Totally. Yeah.
Something like that.
And I think, I mean, us learning the business side of the world, it's also what can you do to help develop your relationships with retailers? Selling the same product for years is great, but retailers like having something unique and special for their customers. So how do we make sure that we are showing that we're constantly evolving, that we're constantly learning, that we're developing things because we're listening to customers? I mean, a lot of customers do ask for blended products. That's where we share. We're not super stoked on doing a supplement gummy with a tiny amount of each mushroom. But if we were putting it in a snack pack, we could actually put a decent amount of each mushroom into that snack pack, because you've got maybe 8 to 12 gummies that you're dealing with instead of just 2. So it helps us kind of solve that problem for people by saying, hey, here's a blended product. It's just in a slightly different format. But yeah, it's trying to understand how do we listen to customers and translate their ideas into something that's tangible and sellable. Because sometimes people's thoughts are so unique, they're just a little too one-off. But
And I
sometimes
think
they're tapping
that's
into
why I asked that, is that
yeah,
because, everybody's got a certain thing but you're thinking, okay, but that's you,
yeah,
which is important. I want to help you too, but I can't make 8 billion products for each person on the planet. Like
yeah,
I got to be able to bundle you guys a little bit, right? So if it's ADHD or ADD, I mean, it's a group sort
yeah,
of. Now, again, it may not work for everybody. You may have to play with it a little bit, but at least it's a collective. And that's what I was getting like. So, I mean, if you're at I guess at a show and everybody's saying sleep, 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 well, I guess sleep is where we're going, right? Or if it's, I don't know,
yeah,
joint pain seems to be or any pain seems to be problematic because a lot of the pharmaceuticals that people did take, lots had adverse effects, but they actually worked for what they were supposed to do, but they caused so many other problems. But you take them out, but got to go back now. What do you
yeah,
want to do with people? These people have to have something. Like
totally.
I don't know what that is, but
I mean, I think we listen for a lot of themes. I think brain health is a big theme that started ever since COVID, just people being stuck at
yeah.
home by themselves. The long COVID, people coming up with like realizing they've got brain fog and they're not sure why, if it's stress related, virus related, our aging population, like just seeing the dementia type adventures that are happening for a lot of people. And then with my age, like I'm getting into the perimenopause, what the hell is going on land? And so I'm always looking at my stress levels, cortisol levels, hormone adventures. So for me, I think the voices of women who are dealing with similar ideas have become more obvious to me. And Jimmy's an advocate for male hormonal health because it's a topic that's not really talked about very often. What are men going through as they age? How can they supplement their health to balance their hormones, like feel the vitality that they're used to as they age? So that's like those are three areas that we're constantly thinking about. How do we develop products that help the conversation with men about their hormonal health, help women through perimenopause, help everyone through brain health, and then also gut health, because the food we're eating these days has some weird shit in it. Like we don't even know what we're eating half the time. So
Yes, we
how
do.
do we
It's all
proactively
microplastics.
microbiome?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we digest plastic more effectively? Um, like gut health is a big topic too, because that affects brain health. Like so,
Yeah.
I think I'd say those are some of the themes that we're hearing the most from people at markets.
I would think, especially as you get like I'm older than the two of you, not by much on one of you, but the other one for sure. Is like it's even the joke that's the Alzheimer's dementia because you're forgetting things or it's not a joke in a sense of ha ha ha, well, I can't wait to get it. It's that what I mean. You're getting to a certain age and you're thinking like definitively once you get close to 60 or over 60, like that's shit that people are thinking about, right? Thinking because it's not a pleasant
Yeah.
demise at the end. Like the end of the road is not like if you've seen people, it's really not a pleasant run, right? I mean, and
Yeah.
so it's scary. So if you're always trying to find ways to mitigate or not have to worry about that if you can.
I think you're.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's I think the format is really cool, and I do think you're. Um, we've seen mushrooms come and go before. Like there have been people who've tried to do this, and mushrooms sometimes is fatty, but um, I think what is cool about yours is you've kind of taken the insight that comes with mushrooms and then added the gummy format, which I think is very innovative, right? So it's not weird for people to try and figure out how to use. Um, and
Well,
then
because
you,
it forces you into a
Yeah.
supplement sort of space, right? Where it changes
yeah,
the tone of it. Like a gummy, when I started buying the vitamin category, gummies were brand new for multis. Like there was no gummies. Like it was all tabs and caps, right? And then
yep,
when the gummies came, it was like this new thing that people are thinking, oh, I'd much rather do that than a stupid cap or chew into some chewable that tasted like shit, quite frankly. Do you know what I mean? So when these cool, I thought, oh, okay, we can do this one. Like it made him, and medicinals are buried in that, or vitamins and supplements are. So you're just a logical extension, I guess, where people are thinking, oh yeah, this makes way more sense than, not, no offense to those people, they did well in my coffee or things like that. I'm not going to do that, but I don't
I
mind
think
having.
you know what I so what I was going to say
Yeah.
too is what I like about this is you are not, because being older, you have to do more things. So a morning coffee isn't a morning coffee anymore. Like a morning coffee now has a scoop of collagen in it because you
You're
might,
killing my
right?
morning
Like,
coffee, man. It's enjoy the
like
coffee.
every doctor on the planet is like, you need to eat more protein, right? Like, so, so there's a scoop of protein in there. And the next one, right? So a coffee is never a cup of coffee. And so
Mhm.
one of the problems with powdered mushrooms is the same thing as you go, look, I only get two coffees a day, maybe three.
Hey, don't kill
And
it.
now you've fucked up my coffee because my coffee doesn't taste like coffee anymore, or it tastes sort of okay until I get to the bottom and it's gritty and it's gross.
Much. Yeah.
I don't want to drink this shit,
You
man. I want to
know,
have my coffee.
so
Can't
at
you just
least
give me
now
something else?
I'm out of that, right? Because now I'm into like there's a delivery format. I can take this on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it. And God forbid I'm traveling and I don't have a coffee, but I still need my scoops of stuff. Like, how do I take that
Well,
now?
now what am
Right?
I going to do?
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I like it. I like it. This
So
is
for people listening, if they
yeah.
want to go and buy your stuff, like where are they going? Online, I'm assuming.
Yep. We're on Amazon.ca. We have our own website, Mycelyum, Mycelyum.com.
Mhm.
That's probably the easiest.
Retailers?
Sorry.
Retailers? Or is there any place, any shops they can buy it in? Or yeah,
Retailers, we're in 45 retailers across the country. So we have a retailer map on our website as well, but spud.ca and their stores in Calgary, the Blush Lane
yeah.
stores, IGAs,
Fresh
out
Streets.
Treasury, out east, it's Essence of Life is kind of our main store in Toronto. But yeah, our retailer map on our website is probably the best way to find a store closest to people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Love it. Thank you for doing this.
Congrats. Nice.
Yeah. This is
Thanks for doing this too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah. This is really amazing. This is really cool. Wow.
I like it. Very good.
Exciting. Exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for doing this. Go enjoy
The rest of your evening.
the rest of your evening.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
And then
Thank you. Phil, you stick around.
Yeah.
Joy, have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye. It's a
I would buy into the gummy aspect
Yeah.
more than this other shit. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not drinking fucking mushrooms in my coffee. I'm not gonna happen.
I have done it. I do
You are a
it.
different person.
I don't love it. I gotta say the sludge and the powdery, the grittiness, like there's always this contention that, oh, don't worry, it doesn't really change the taste. And the answer is no,
Sure does.
that's wrong. It does.
Sure does.
It
Well, it changes the
changes.
experience too, just so we're clear.
Yeah.
I don't have sludge at the end of my coffee.
Yeah.
And it's fine if that's what you like. I mean, God bless you, do your thing. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter to me. But I like the fact that something like this, if I really wanted to get into it, it's easy peasy. It's a gummy. I mean, who the hell cares? I like gummies.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm there too. I'm there too. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. All right.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
listening.